All right, hey guys. So today's question is gold, silver, or Bitcoin. Now, this is not to spark debate. I don't want anybody going at each other's throats if we get some comments in here or anything like that. But I think that this is important to bring up now since, we're seeing gold really pick up some momentum here and it's actually looking pretty bright for the future, right? And a lot of us, we're silver stackers. But in the midst of the precious metals space, believe it or not, there are some of us out there that do hold cryptocurrencies. Now, I actually got out of my position in crypto quite a while ago. I don't look for tops, and then, I had taken a little bit of profit there, but something else came up where I needed to liquidate what I had. Obviously, I'm not going to sell my gold or silver unless I absolutely have to, or if I am selling it because maybe I want to pick up some real estate or something in the future, right? When timing's right. The last thing that I want to do is convert that right into fiat dollars to hold that. And same with Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency out there. They are long-term investments. So currently, I hold almost nothing in cryptocurrency. Just to put it out there, again, I sold some when it was looking a little hot. I didn't quite like it. And then, some things came up where I might have needed to have a chunk of cash set aside. Now, during that time of having to pull out some assets and setting that cash aside, this is not something that I would normally do, but I have kept cash on the sidelines. Not a lot. Got a little bit set, and I this could come back to hit me in the face. I do expect to see a further fall in cryptocurrencies. Please don't beat me up for saying that. It could be unlikely. Everything now is manipulated. Everything is manipulated. But I'll explain some of that a little bit deeper here in just a moment. Now let's get to our news. So Elon Musk tweeted again, Dogecoin Bitcoin prices climb as Elon Musk solicits help to improve meme coin, talks sustainability with miners. So there's a lot that's been going on in the crypto space here for I'll say a little while here. And I'm not going to do a deep dive on this, but I'll let you know a little bit of what's going on. So Elon Musk said Monday that he's working on two fronts that could be read as bullish in the longer term for Dogecoin and Bitcoin. On Monday, the Tesla chief executive tweeted that he had spoken to Bitcoin miners and that the community has committed to publishing data on their renewable energy use. Now, with this, we actually saw the price in Bitcoin start to climb back up, right? And apparently everyone that hated Elon Musk a couple days ago is now his best friend again. Now, what he ended up tweeting out is spoke with North American Bitcoin miners. They committed to publish current and planned renewable usage and to ask miners to do so, potentially promising. So when we do an audit of these miners, whenever the news comes out, which Elon isn't going to like, I can already tell you this. When the news comes out of how much energy they are using, and it's a small percentage right now that's renewable. Oh, well, you're wrong because 70% of miners are using renewable energy. Okay, what's the percentage of that renewable energy that they're using? I can promise you right now, it's not a lot. So we've actually seen the price of Bitcoin going up. In cryptocurrencies, any crypto follows suit, right? As of right now, when Bitcoin moves, the whole market moves. It's somewhat good. And at the end of this video, I'm going to let you know exactly what I intend on doing. And you could say I am stupid for doing it. But I'll lay out my plan with you guys here in just a moment. So this is the Bitcoin factor, right? Very easy to move these markets right now. Not exactly something that you want to see, but at the same time, if you know how to play it, trade it. Trade it. If there's money to be made, then make it. If you're a gold or silver bug, I understand. I am too. But because of cryptocurrencies, that has helped me add to my stack. I'm not telling you to jump in and be in it forever. If you want to do that, go for it. There is a future for cryptocurrency here. Now, at any moment, yes, regulation can come out. I've already spoke on that. I think that long term, depending on the kind of regulation that you see, I think that it's Bitcoin positive. Is it my favorite thing? No, it's not my favorite thing. But if they want to start trading or seeing all cryptos the same way that we have to maybe abide by stock laws and different regulations with that, long term, I think that that is positive. Momentarily, oh, it'll feel like the world's coming down. But I would say that that's a time to buy. If there's major regulation that comes in, yeah, you're going to see a pretty good crash. People are going to figure out the laws. They might get more comfortable with it, and then they'll feel the need to come in. The other great thing about this, if you're somebody that's really into privacy coins, which I got told the other day, oh my God, this has turned into a Bitcoin channel. It's all Bitcoin now. No. And I think I got told that I was like shilling or promoting investments that I'm in. I own 0 Bitcoin right now. Or I guess it's not 0. It's just a small enough fraction that I can't even move it. I am not significant enough to move this market. I don't want to say that it's stupid, but it is. I have not told anyone exactly what I'm in. Now, me mentioning a privacy coin, maybe you know where I'm going to with that, but I don't want to promote what I'm in because, I little Miss Market Mover over here. I wouldn't want you guys to jump in because I'm into something. All right, moving over to gold. We have got to talk about gold. They say that gold continues to gain value and inches closer to $1,900. Ooh, that's going to be a nice day. Now, here's my strategy here. Give me some input on this because I'm actually asking for some input here. I am considering that for the rest of this year and possibly into next year, I think that I want to have a bit more focus on my gold stack. It is very, very small. I'm talking grams, guys. It's nothing major. But I think that I do want to add a little bit more to my gold stack. And I say this because, again, I don't have much of it. I feel pretty safe and secure in my silver investments. And I don't think that I'll completely stop buying silver. Obviously, deals will come up. But right now, with the way that premiums have been, I'm feeling like a smackdown could come from the big banks at any moment. All of these things are possible. I might want to start putting a bit more of my time, money, and efforts into gold. I'm not concrete on that yet. I've just got a feeling that I think I want to have a bit more in gold. It just feels good to hold, right? All right, so this says the market forces and events which have taken gold to higher pricing since the end of March are still dominantly in play. Exactly. People have a lot of unknowns out here. So let's like talk just a little bit about this. Inflation, huge factor. Now, yes, we're expecting to see gold and silver just go crazy at any moment, right? Any moment it's going to go. I trust in that. I just don't want to put a timeline on that. And gold is going to be the absolute last resort for a lot of investors to rush into. We would have thought there should be a rush to safety into gold right now, and maybe cryptos are taking a little bit of that air away from gold. It's possible some of the momentum is lost because of Bitcoin and other cryptos that are out there. But when everything really starts to fall apart, that's when you'll see that rush into gold. Now, before that happens, here's something that kind of keeps me teetering on whether I want to put more into gold or not. I do expect to see a short flash crash in gold. I'm not going to put a price target on it because that depends on how high it goes from here till the day that it crashes. But I do expect to see a slight relief in gold, and it actually could end up being a flash crash. And we've talked about Basel III. That's coming up. This could be very gold positive. It could be gold negative. We'll just have to see when this happens. Obviously, people that are concerned with inflation, smart investors that are out there, people that want to preserve their wealth, they're looking more into gold at the moment. You've also got Russia, China, India, all of these big places, their governments are buying up more gold. So this is something, they're not buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin hasn't proven itself yet. It hasn't, but gold has. Since the beginning of time, gold has been here and it's not going anywhere. This says the two primary forces are dollar weakness, which we know about, and data indicating an uptick in inflation. I don't think we need the data indicators to tell us about an uptick in inflation. We saw it coming, it's here, and I think it's going to keep going up. This goes on to say that these two factors greatly affect Treasury yields. In turn, Treasury yields affect bullish or bearish sentiment in gold. Recently, the U.S. Labor Department showed that the Consumer Price Index jumped to 4.2% in April. It is up 2.6% from the numbers revealed in March. All right. According to The Economist, in an article named How to Gauge Investors' Fears of Inflation, they said, what do investors fear most? And the Bank of America's long-running survey of fund managers, the tail risk that has mostly preoccupied them until recently has been the scamdemic. In this month's survey, though inflation rose to the top of the list of worries, it is not hard to see why. High inflation, if sustained, would require central banks to act decisively to contain it. That would mean the end of low interest rates that have underpinned the prices of an array of expensive-looking assets from stocks and bonds to property. Now, we've actually talked about that. We just talked about that the other day. The Fed is really good at putting themselves in a corner, right? Or in a way, if you want to look at it, they're digging a hole, and the hole is so deep, I don't think that we can get out of it. And you're not going to dig to the other side. I don't think that they can raise the interest. How many people have already lost their home due to this virus? Now, the economy wasn't good before that, but this is going to be a really good excuse for the media when this all starts to go wrong. They're going to act really surprised, and you guys are not going to be surprised because you've been on top of what's going on, right? Most of the people that would watch this channel have a good understanding of what's actually happening in the economy. Mortgages aren't being paid. Rents aren't being paid. Now, for the most part, they are. For the most part, yeah, it's okay, but it just takes that one hiccup, and then you have too many people that aren't paying their mortgages and too many people that are not paying their rent, which in return means someone else is not paying their mortgage. Most people that are renters are actually paying off someone else's mortgage. An investor came in, saw a good-looking property, they can make a little bit of money off of it. There might be some tax incentive there. The story goes on. So when the economy is doing somewhat good, or people think that it's doing good, a lot of the investments that people have made, it makes them feel good because they see their portfolios looking really nice. In the snap of your fingers, that could be gone. Just look back to 2008. Moving on just a little bit here, I want to talk about this. Russian government gives go-ahead for piling of national wealth fund into gold bullion. How could you not be bullish on gold right now? I don't understand it. The National Wealth Fund, NWF, has received the green light to diversify assets by investing in gold as the country's Prime Minister, Mikhail Mishustin, I'm sure I just said that wrong, Mishustin, signed the relevant order on Friday. Financial reserves of the NWF can be allocated in the accounts of the Bank of Russia in the form of precious metals, gold in particular, which is traditionally seen as one of the defensive assets, the Cabinet's press office said. So Russia's actually been stocking up on gold for a little while now. All right, moving on a little bit here. China opens its borders to billions of dollars of gold imports. How much can I say? Russia, China, Turkey, India, the list can go on. Governments are buying up gold. Now, this says China has given domestic and international banks permission to import large amounts of gold into the country. 5 sources familiar with the matter said, potentially helping to support global gold prices after months of declines. China is the world's biggest gold consumer, gobbling up hundreds of tons of the precious metals worth tens of billions of dollars each year. But its imports plunged as the virus spread and local demand dried up. Here in the US, it's all about going out and buying your new Louis Vuittons.
Hey guys, what is up? Just know that I spend all my money. I'm not someone who has mad savings or anything, so just know I'm one of those bitches that just earns money and spends it. So if you're saving for your future, that's much better.
But part of their culture is actually to buy gold because gold is seen as generational wealth. You want something that you can actually pass down to your children. So when this virus hit and things kind of got locked down, yeah, some of that demand did dry up. People weren't out as much, but now that they go out and about, they kind of need to get back to it, right? So for China, and this is more than just China, across the world, people actually see gold as a good investment for generational wealth. And for when hard times come. Here in the US, we've had things very, very easy for the most part. You have not seen something as devastating as some of these other countries have seen. You haven't had to deal with new currencies every couple of years, or really any time in our history. Things have moved so slow that most people don't really feel the full impact. All it takes is for that one big hiccup to happen and things could change. Now, I think that the Fed is going to try their hardest to make sure that you don't feel this impact with brunt force. They're going to try to make it as soft as possible. We're going into this soft reset, a soft transition, and things will be different here soon enough. So now we need to talk about silver a little bit here. Most of us are very, very bullish on silver. Again, I'll say it's probably the most undervalued asset that we know of. All right, so CPM Group, silver price could reach $50 again. Wow, so some people are getting excited about $50. I'm thinking about, when does silver hit $500? I'm not even joking. So after a couple of dips this year, the silver price is now holding roughly in the US $27 to $28 per ounce range, supported by strong investment demand. And we have seen that thanks to Wall Street Silver out there, and a couple, there have been other large YouTubers out there that have always talked about silver. Spectacular is one of them, The Greatest Truth Never Told, Bull Boom Bear Bust, Money GPS, Jeremiah Babe. All these big channels, they're out there. People have been telling you for years now, get into silver, this is on sale. And they're not lying. This is on sale. Now, again, with as high as those premiums are, I could be looking into gold a little bit more, but again, if you're new to precious metals, you just need to decide what's best for you. My strategy is not going to be the same as your strategy, and it probably shouldn't be. It's not a cookie cutter sort of way to go, right? So the white metal was above the US $28 threshold on Tuesday, May 18th, and has been slowly trending up following a February peak of US $28.55 and a subsequent decline. Despite its recent bumpiness, silver is still up significantly from a year ago. In May 2020, the silver price was sitting in the US $16 range, and an uptick from just 11.94 2 months earlier. Yeah, I do kind of miss cheap silver. I mean, I know that it's still cheap. I know that it's still cheap because of where it could go, but I'm not. And again, they're getting excited over $50. That's easy. It's going to be easy to hit $50. Think about the Johnny-come-latelys that are going to be trying to rush into silver or even rush into gold, but especially silver, because this is what normal people can afford. When we're hit with inflation, an unstable economy, and people concerned about the future, when silver just hits $30 an ounce, you see people go wild over that, right? They need to get in right now. And they don't really understand these markets. People get sad whenever it goes down just a couple of cents. I'm not really concerned about it. I'm not concerned about price. Spot price, not concerned with it at all. Premiums, yeah, I could get a little concerned with that. But think about when silver does hit $50. And what if cryptos aren't performing like people expected them to, right? All of these things could be coming down. How easy is it going to move from 30 to 50 to 70 to 100 and up? And think about timing here, because when this starts to happen, it's all going to move very fast. I don't think that this is going to come slowly. When we see metals move, it's going to start to happen really fast, and have your plan in place. Have a good plan in place, all right? There's some things that we need right now that I don't really care to get into. One of the biggest things that we need is a truck, and a truck capable of actually towing. Maybe I'll trade in some silver for when that day comes. There's some things that I would like to do around my property. If some land comes up for sale, I'm probably going to want to buy some land. If some nice real estate does come up for sale, a couple houses. And what you need to think about here, the whole reason for stacking, in my opinion, is one, so we're protected against this inflation and I can maintain my wealth, right? I can preserve my wealth. But beyond that is it's my investment vehicle for the future. Just as I use cryptos as an investment vehicle for things that I need, or maybe if I see that I'm up a good bit, I want to move some of that into gold and silver. That's my investment vehicle most of the time for getting more precious metals. Now with my precious metals, I tend to just keep those on hold. That's for emergency purposes only. But also, if we see these prices go absolutely insane, that's how I'm probably going to be able to pick up some real estate. That's how I'm probably going to be able to pick up a business that might be going under, right? So have your strategy put in play. What are things that you need or things that you might want? And these can change too. Don't be concrete in your strategy exactly, right? Things can change at any moment, and we might need to reshape how we want to get into these investments. It all depends on the environment that we're handed when it's happening. But you still want to have your plan kind of maybe put it down on paper so you have an idea of where you want to go and you're not running around like a headless chicken when the next financial collapse happens. Demonocracy, which I don't know why I've never looked at this, maybe it's new, but they actually have the silver supply, the world silver supply, and I'm actually all the way down at the bottom, but I absolutely love these. I love to see how much, the world's money, all the money that's out there. I like looking at the silver. I like looking at the gold. Let's just take a quick look at this. And some of you guys might actually be familiar with this. What we're looking at right here is all silver mined in history. All silver mined in history. Almost half of it has been lost throughout history. It's ended up in a landfill somewhere. It's never going to be retrieved again. Actually, for those of you that are into mining stocks, there are actually specific stocks to look into or specific companies to look into, and I'm not going to name any of them. I'm actually not invested in any of them, but maybe there's a chance here sometime soon I might want to get in. There's actually recycling facilities now that are focusing mainly on silver. And what's weird to think is if silver ever really dried up, some of these miners and refiners are probably going to go looking through landfills to retrieve some. I mean, it's so important to keep the world running. If you want to talk about an important metal out there, silver's one of them. It's in everything. So silver lost throughout history is 634,000 tons, and silver currently in existence is at 777,000 tons. All right, so this is silver in all existing forms, not just accessible, purchasable silver. It's all forms of silver. So that's going to be a really cool thing to look at. And the other thing that I love to look at here is all the money and assets in the world shown in physical $100 bills. The reason I love this so much, let me actually make this a little bit smaller for you guys, is because silver is not even mentioned on this, right? Not even mentioned. So if you were to go and look at this, you've got your derivatives, private business and real estate, securitized debt and listed stocks, government bonds, bank money, base money, and at the bottom is gold. Demonocracy, it would be really cool if you put at the very, very tip of this silver. If you're not into silver by now, just go get that first ounce. Just get 1 ounce. It doesn't matter what kind. It could be poured. It could be government silver. It could be a collectible edition. I don't care what you go and get. Just put that piece of silver in your hands. That's real money. It feels, there's something almost, I don't know, majestic about it. Maybe it's your primitive self. I'm not really sure what it is, but it feels good in the hands. Gold feels even better. It's nice. It's heavy. You can tell that that's something real. The realest thing that I can do with my Bitcoin is put it on a paper wallet. All right, so I do want us to go ahead and look at the Bitcoin price here. Let me make this just a little bit larger for us as well. All right, this could be really, really stupid. I'm going to lay out my strategy for you here. A couple days ago, now these are good till canceled. I've got some buy limits set, and they are good till canceled. Now, I was not actually invested in any Bitcoin, but whenever I liquidated the cryptos that I had, Bitcoin was probably around 50-something thousand. So that was I believe that was the first time I liquidated some, and then somewhere right around the top, somewhere right in here, still probably 50 through 60 something thousand, something came up and I needed to liquidate the rest of it in case I needed that money on standby and needed to move really quick. So I haven't been in cryptos at all, and I didn't care to get back in. Market was a little bit too hot for me, or way, way too hot for me. I have actually got my buy limit set around 25,000. I've actually got them lower than that. 25,000 is probably the smallest buy limit that I have, but realistically, I set them at $22,000, which obviously I'm not going to be buying a whole Bitcoin, but I do have buy limit set good till canceled at 22,000. That's where I would expect to pick up most of them. Now, if we go that low, I've still got some money on standby. If we go that low, I do expect a good, I mean, if you're that low, it's already full panic. full panic mode. You can expect that. So I would expect it to go even slightly lower than that, but in case it didn't, I've got it set there because full panic could mean we're only going down to 22,000. But I think if we hit that number, that hurts a lot of people. You've got to think about the psychology to this, right? Now, we've had some momentum here because Elon's been tweeting, Michael Saylor's tweeting, everybody's telling you, oh, it's okay, everything's okay. But if you did want to know my strategy, currently I do not own enough Bitcoin to move it anywhere. None. So, and it's a tiny channel. I'm not pumping or shilling anything. I do have this. Now, I could miss out on this. I could definitely, that might not ever hit. That's a good possibility. I hear you. I can hear you screaming at me through the screen, okay? It might not hit that there at all. But oftentimes, I put in buy limits for just in case. Generally, I've got a good idea of what could happen. So these are set in place just in case. That's a just in case buy limit. And typically, I've got sell limits set in place too. Like I'm pretty sure that I had some stuff set to automatically sell when Bitcoin was hitting certain prices. So if you felt like you wanted to get into cryptos, let's be really patient right now. Trade with caution. I wouldn't jump all in. Even if you see things going back up, I'm not going to fully trust that, okay? There's a chance that it could go lower. This is unknown territory as well. Yeah, there's been a lot of hype, but look at that run up. That's a massive run up. I would not be shocked if we do get below 20K momentarily. And now you would say too, oh, well, if we got to 20K, that's going to get bought up instantly. I'm not really sure. I mean, people could be so scared. There is the talks of regulation going on. The FUD with China, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, I'm not really too concerned with because I've actually been reading up on what some of those miners are doing, and it's actually kind of funny. A lot of these companies that are mining over in China, even though they're doing a crackdown, they actually plan on moving their mining operations to North America. So that is kind of bullish. We'll have to see how all that plays out. I'm really not concerned about the crackdowns. There's always going to be ways around this. The US government needs to be kind of careful with how they regulate as well, because in my opinion, they're just going to almost incentivize more illegal activity. There are a good number of people here that actually hold crypto, and there's going to be a small percentage of those people aren't going to want to give that up. So they're going to do whatever they can to make sure that they can maintain it, especially if they have the idea that that is their wealth. They're going to find out how to move that around. So all governments kind of need to tread lightly here. Anytime that regulation tends to happen, eventually we still bounce back. I mean, people are smart. They'll figure out what to do. I think that that's all I have for you today. I want crypto and precious metals people to be able to come together because these things can work hand in hand, right? And I don't think that we need to be at each other's throats so much. Let's not do that. Let's kind of see both sides of the coin here. If you like this video, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We're trying to get the channel large enough to be able to do community posts. I would like to do more live streams with you guys. We can get people together inside the Discord. Most of the time we would be doing that through Truth, Money, and Freedom. I'll be sure to add their Discord for you guys. It's a great place to hang out. They're very crypto friendly and they are extremely silver friendly. So if you've got questions about anything, or if you wanted to learn a little bit more, nobody there is a financial advisor, but we can be a good friend. And, we like to talk about kind of what we're doing in the moment. So that's all I have for you today. Thanks again. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Bye, guys.
Like spend all my money. I'm not someone who has like mad savings or anything. So just know I'm like one of those bitches that like just like
earns money and spends it.